All right, so on 5.3 day 2, a lot of this stuff is going to be where if I give you one, and it's going to be a lot of writing rules again. Okay, so on stuff like this, the first one's going to say something similar to, here's the parent. Okay, so this particular problem or one like it is not anything different. We have done this like this before. The only difference is now that our parent is different than what it was. Okay, so again, horizontal shrink. What does that mean? What operation does that mean? Multiplying it, but where? On the inside, and when we multiply it by 1/6, or when it says 1/6, we actually multiply it by 6. So the new one, so far we have the cube root of 6x. Then 3 units to the left means what operation?
It's going to be inside.
It's going to be inside, and it's plus 3. Okay. What do you guys think of that one?
Seems to
And these are very similar to what we've already done how many times? We've done those quite a few times. So you guys, I'm pretty sure, know where the transformations go, what they mean, how they get entered into your formula. We've done them so many times that I don't think we have to do too many more of those. Are we okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then, the next example or the next type of thing that you're going to do in your assignment is going to be something like this. And it's going to say, use a graphing calculator to graph 1/2 y squared equals x. Okay? Now, for something like this, it is not right now as y equals, it says x equals. The calculator does not have an x equals button, it has a y equals button. So if you want to put it into the graphing calculator, you got to solve for y first. So when I undo the order of operations, adding and subtracting goes first, which there isn't any. Then multiplication and division goes second, which what moves? I multiply it by 2 to both sides. Which I also heard the reciprocal a couple times. I just ignored it. So then when I did that, now I've got y squared equals 2x. And now I square root it. And what do I get? Y equals plus or minus the square root of 2x. Now, when you type this in, you need to type them as 2 different equations. The first equation will be y equals the square root of 2x. And the second equation would be y equals negative the square root of 2x. Okay? That has to happen. When you graph it, what does it look like? It looks like a sideways parabola, right? Okay. That's what it should have looked like. When it's a plus, you don't have to put the plus there. You can just go. Oops. Perfect. Graph for me. Good job, Allie.
Thank you.
Okay, so That's what it looked like, or at least that's what we got when I watched Allie type it in, and she did a great job doing it. Is that what you guys saw?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, now, here's what it's going to ask you to do. It's going to ask you to identify the vertex and the direction where the parabola opens, which I think should be the easiest part about that. To what direction does this parabola open? It opens to the right. Okay? It opens up to the right. That's one of the parts of the answer. Now, what's the vertex? What is a vertex of a parabola? It's been about a month or so since we've talked about it. But what is a vertex in general? It's the point where they meet, or the turning, right? Where do they turn at? 0, 0. So the vertex is at the order pair 0, 0. Now, it's going to always be at 0, 0 unless you shift it to the left or to the right or up or down. Okay? So if you have to shift it, then it will be at a different location, but it will start at 0, 0 and then work its way around. What do you guys think?
Easy.
Not too bad?
Easy.
Okay?
No.
Almost.
Let me see the PG part.
This is it.
I gotta show you something super funny.
Okay. All right. On this particular problem, it's the same kind of concept. It's going to ask you to do this for me. Use a graphing calculator to graph x squared plus y squared equals 16. Identify the radius and the intercepts. What kind of shape was this going to be? Circle. How'd you know it was going to be a circle in the first place? It also said radius, but also because it's got x squared and y squared at the same time. Sue, how do you get y by itself? I subtract x squared to both sides first. Now, where you put it, it's totally up to you. Do you want to put it behind the 16 or in front of the 16? Behind, okay. It does not matter because addition is commutative. It wouldn't matter the order. Now, how do I get rid of square? I square root it. No, it does not. So, for this particular thing, 16 minus x squared, most people, don't forget plus or minus, but most people, and Chandler, I heard him say it right away, he said 4 minus x, and that's not true. Okay? What most people do is that they look at the 16 and go, oh, the square root of 16 is 4. And oh, the square root of x squared is x. That's true if they're individuals. But because you've got a minus in between there, it would have to be the same group twice. If you factored it, it would be x minus, or 4 minus x and 4 plus x. Those are not the same. So guess what? That's the answer. You cannot reduce that unless it would have been the same group twice. So the square root of 16 minus x squared, that doesn't change. So now, how do I put that in the calculator? Put two equations in. Okay? One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I got that particular shape, I think. Is that what you guys got?
No.
Okay, now, Hunter made an observation with his. He said his does not connect. That can happen with your graphing calculators. It's because of the pixels and because it's entered in as two different equations, even though it's supposed to be a circle, that can look like that where it does not actually connect all the way. Now, Hunter, if you honestly change the window around a little bit, made it a little bit smaller, it might look like it connects then. Okay? That's the only difference. It should look like a circle. Some of yours may look oval, just because of the fact that your window looks a little bit ovalish. Okay? Syntax means you type something in. It's got to be a negative, not a minus.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay.
So, looking at what else it wants you to do. What's the radius? What is the radius?
Radius.
4. Because remember, it's from the center out to the edge. How far is it? 4. I knew it was 4 before we graphed it. Does anybody know where else I got the number 4 from? Square root of 16. Remember way back when we dealt with circles the first time, x squared plus y squared equals r squared. Do you remember, Vitaly? What's a pirate's favorite letter? You almost said it right. Okay, so the radius is 4. It also asks you for the intercepts. If you're at 0, 0, and your arm length is 4, and you go around in a circle, where are you going to hit the x and y axis at? 0, 4 is one of them. 4, 0 is another one. Negative 4 is 0, and 0, negative 4. Because you went 4 in every direction, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys think? So, on 257. On 39, just so that you guys know, the first thing that you have to do is read it. It is a word problem, I know, scary, but you got to read it. It'll tell you what to put in there and see what you get. It's very similar to that first one we did. Then 41 to 45 basically says write the rule. Tell me what's happening. Then 47 and 49, write the rule. Okay, so tell me what happened. 51 to 55, use a graphing calculator to graph the equation of the parabola. Identify the vertex and direction that it opens. 57 to 61, use a graphing calculator to graph the equation of a circle. Identify the radius and intercepts. So, a lot of writing the rule. And a couple parabolas and a couple circles.